When Spain joined the European Union 3 decades ago, few could predict the colossal change that would take place in the country. The brutal Franco regime had left the country in a poor political and economic state, and joining the EU in 1986 was the final step towards a consolidated democracy. While eliminated trade and capital barriers that came along with this membership played a big part, the primary driver for its economic transformation was EU's cohesion policy.
So what is the cohesion policy? In essence, it's a considerable effort towards economic development. It's designed by the EU to improve economic performance by reducing the disparities between member nations. Why does this matter to the EU? Well, doing so would ease economic operations between the member states in tandem with their ultimate goal of convergence. A strong cohesion within the Union means that the poor economic health of one member can be detrimental to many others. The simple reason that Spain attracted such large sums of money is that it was poor. In absolute terms, it has been the biggest recipient of the funds, set to receive approximately 200,000 million euros between 1989 and 2020. In the decade of 1993 to 2003, the cohesion funds accounted for over 1% of the country's GDP. In 2006, the Spanish per capita income index relative to the EU 15 average would have been almost 6 percentage points lower without the funding. This graph shows the distribution of the total allocation for the cohesion policy in Spain by thematic objectives. In percentage terms, the biggest allocation for both periods was for innovation development. Given that this is a well-established factor for long-term prosperity, it isn't hard to understand why the funds transformed Spain. In just the 5-year period of 2007 to 2013, 58,000 jobs were created, 43,000 small businesses supported, and 30,000 research projects undertaken.
The policy's endeavour to upgrade human capital is predicted to increase employment from 59% in 2012 to 74% in 2020. But such large-scale aid comes with a cost: dependency. The addition of poorer countries in Eastern and Central Europe has seen Spain rebranded as a middle-income country, reducing its entitlement to funding. Lower funding is predicted to make it harder for Spain to achieve long-term development. Nonetheless, for 2014 to 2020, Spain has been allocated around 28.6 billion euros to continue its development. Moreover, because the policy focused on the long term, its impacts are likely to last long, or even manifest years later. It is clear then that Spain has and will continue to benefit immensely from EU's cohesion policy.